Hey guys, my name is Serena. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a simpler video. I wanted to explain my rating system. But first I wanted to say that I was tagged by jenthelibrarian to do the pay it forward tag. Thank you so much for tagging me, and basically what you have to do is tag a bunch of people down below who have under 500 subscribers so they can tag other people and so on. I'll be tagging these people down below, and you should definitely check their channels out and maybe subscribe to them. So for what concerns my rating system, I use the Goodreads rating system. Basically, I rate a book from 1 to 5 stars, and if the book is, for example, 3.5 stars or 4.5 stars, I will write it in the review below that. So now I'm going to explain how I rate a book. What I want to do in this video is insert some screenshots of books that I've rated 1 star or 2 stars, 3, 4, and 5. 1-star books are basically books that I hated, that I did not like at all, that didn't excite me, that didn't kept my interest. Books that I DNF'd, but I was more than halfway through. Usually if I DNF a book and it's halfway through, I do rate it. It's either 1 or 2 stars if it's well written. But if I DNF a book before that, I do not rate it, you know? But there are not many books that I DNF'd because I used to force myself to read a book till the end, but recently I stopped doing that. My 2-star rating is basically a book that I thought was okay. I didn't particularly love it, but I thought it was well written and it wasn't horrible, basically. Next we have, of course, 3 stars. And I usually rate a lot of books 3 stars. And a 3-star book for me is a book that I liked, but it wasn't amazing. And most of the time when I rate a book 3 stars, it's because I do not know how to rate that book. 4-star book is a book that was really good but isn't in my all-time favorites. Usually a 5-star book is a book that is a book that I will love forever, that I will reread over and over again, that will stay with me forever in my heart. And if I'm not convinced that that book is my all-time favorite, I will give it 4.5 stars. So what I also wanted to talk about is critical reading. When I finish a book and the ending is amazing and it's a 5-star book right away because you have a book hangover and you can't wait to read the second book, sequel, whatever, you don't think clearly and you just give it a 5-star. But when you calm down, obviously, you start thinking and you think, maybe this book is not a 5 stars, maybe it's 4 star. And I think that opinions change as you get older, and even in a matter of days it can change. You start thinking about that book critically. So this is what I usually do. Recently I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and when I finished it I thought,
oh my gosh, 5 stars. This is amazing. I love it. It's great. 5 stars. That ending. Oh my god, I can't wait to read the second book.
But then I calmed down and I started to compare it to other 5-star books. For example, of course, Harry Potter. And when you start thinking like that, of course you cannot give that book 4 stars. Another thing that tends to condition my thoughts is BookTube itself. When I watch a review, that person's opinion makes me think about maybe something that I didn't thought about, and I change my rating. Or if for that booktuber the sequel is better, I think, if I give this book 5 stars and the sequel for me is better than the first book, then will I give that one 5 stars like the first one? I really hope that makes sense. I know that if I do not read the book, I cannot think that way because everyone has their opinion. Also, when I start thinking critically, I tend to find every single thing that bothered me. And for A Court of Thorns and Roses, again, not much bothered me. Maybe in the middle it dragged just a little bit, or the fact that the riddle was so easy. I usually read books for school critically, and that's probably why I do not like most of my required reads for school. And I really tend to not do that with my books, the ones that I own, that I read for pleasure, because for me, reading is just a fun activity, and when I read for school, it is not fun. With that, I'm going to end this video because I think I've said enough. And I hope this video isn't that long. And also, I hope that it made sense, everything that I said. And if you think the way that I think, please let me know down in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!